Sweet home, there it is, beautiful Miller Park, the home of the Brewers, and tonight starts a 6-game homestand. First up, the St. Louis Cardinals. It's the first of a 3-game series, a showdown in the National League Central, and a showdown with two of the best run producers in all of baseball. Pujols with 82 RBIs, Fielder with 76, those two at the top of the list in the major leagues in runs batted in. And this series begins with the Brewers down a game to the St. Louis Cardinals. They'll try to make up some ground and then some with the Cardinals and the Dodgers coming to town. And hi, everybody, and welcome from Miller Park. Brian Anderson along with Bill Schroeder. Great to have you with us. We're certainly looking forward to this homestand. We'll see two of the greatest right-handed hitters of all time in Pujols and Manny Ramirez. But, Rock, tonight, two right-handed pitchers are the headliners.
Well, Adam Wainwright for the Cardinals, Yovani Gallardo, one of the best pitching matchups in all of baseball tonight. Adam Wainwright has turned into a big-time, ace for this Cardinals ball club. I mean, when you talk about Adam Wainwright, you're talking about a power curveball. The Brewers are going to see him already for the 4th time this year. He's already made 3 starts. Outstanding stuff. One of the league leaders in innings pitched. As a matter of fact, his last time out against the Giants, he threw 122 pitches. We'll see how that affects him tonight. Yovani Gallardo, on the other hand, this guy has been tremendous. His last 8 starts, you can't ask for much more from Yovani Gallardo. He's able to pitch deep into ball games. A career-high 12 strikeouts his last time out. He's come up in his last couple of starts with a power curveball that kind of reminds you of the Ben Sheets curveball. So hopefully Yovani's going to be able to throw that pitch for strikes and avoid Albert Pujols late in the ball game.
It's a matchup between two 8-game winners, Wainwright and Gallardo. Miller Park will be rocking tonight. It's the Brewers and the Redbirds, and it's coming up next. That one's well hit. Goodbye, Ryan Braun with a solo home run. Bernie takes a slide. And that one is hit high and deep to center field, and Pujols watches this one fly way out of here. All-stars aplenty here this week in Milwaukee. The Cardinals and the Brewers ready to get a 6-game homestand kicked off. And the Brewers open the day 1 game back of the Cardinals in the National League Central. At 43-39, Tony La Russa will send up one of his best here tonight in Adam Wainwright. You see what the Cardinals have been able to do. Pujols leads the way just about every major offensive category. He is their offense right now. Pujols at .336, 31 homers, 82 RBIs. He leads the major leagues in home runs, RBIs, and runs scored, and he's got a legitimate chance this year to win the Triple Crown. Tony La Russa's lineup tonight, courtesy of Subway. It's Skip Schumacher leading off. Colby Rasmus batting second, the rookie, with Albert Pujols in the 3-hole. Ryan Ludwig, Rick Ankiel, and Yadier Molina in the middle of La Russa's order, with Joe Thurston, Adam Wainwright, and Brendan Ryan down at the bottom. And there is Yovani Gallardo and the Piggly Wiggly scouting report, partner.
Well, in the words of Eddie Cedar, first base coach, that's what we do. Just do what he does every time out. He gives you some innings. He's going to strike out some batters. Always keeps you in the ball game. His last 8 starts have been tremendous. He's got that power curve. He had 12 strikeouts his last time out against the Mets. That was a career high. And you have to avoid Albert Pujols late in the ball game. If you have an opportunity to walk him, walk him. Don't mess around.
Here's how the Brewers line up defensively behind Gallardo. It's Ryan Braun, Mike Cameron, and Corey Hart in the outfield. Infield is Casey McGee, J.J. Hardy, Craig Counsell, and Prince Fielder. And Jason Kendall will catch Yovani tonight.
Man, Gallardo's numbers outstanding. He's got a complete game. His 17th start of the season, second against the Cardinals. 8-5. He's 4th in ERA and 5th in strikeouts in the National League.
And many feel Gallardo one of the big snubs for the All-Star team, certainly around these parts. Gallardo putting together an All-Star season. His 8 wins, currently tied for 6th in the National League. Hasn't been given much run support here lately. And an ERA at 2.75, an outstanding earned run average inside the top 10. Bill Hahn calling balls and strikes tonight. Bruce Dreckman, Paul Emmel, and Gary Darling on the bases. The third base umpire, Darling, is the crew chief. He'll be the one that determines a replay on a boundary call. Schumacher lines out, and that's how Gallardo's night begins. Now the Brewers come in, licking their wounds a little bit. Milwaukee dropping 3 of 4 in Chicago at Wrigley Field and have lost 4 out of 5 in the month of July. Meanwhile, the Cardinals have won 4 of 5 in the month, and they're coming off a series victory against the Cincinnati Reds. They won 2 out of 3 from the Reds.
Now pitching has been very good for Tony La Russa and the Cardinals, second in the National League in team earned run average. Offensively, it's all about Albert Pujols, and what Brewers have to do is keep the first 2 guys in that order off the bases so that you don't have to throw Albert strikes.
Colby Rasmus at the plate for the Cardinals. Right now, the leading candidate for the Rookie of the Year halfway through the season. He's getting some strong competition from the Brewers' third baseman, however, Casey McGee, who has really come on as of late. And Rasmus drills one into right, a base hit.
Yeah, he's got a quick bat and hits the ball to all fields. Leads all rookies and with home runs and RBIs, 10 and 32. So he's off to a pretty good start.
You see Colby Rasmus, 70 hits this year. He and Casey McGee in the top 5 for rookies in 9 different offensive categories.
You can see that classic left-handed stroke. Likes the ball down.
So here is Pujols. Just numbers that jump off the page at you. He's put together a nice season already. 31 home runs, 82 runs batted in. He's got a chance to do something he's never done. And we're talking about in the first half of the season prior to the All-Star break. Chance to lead Major League Baseball in home runs, RBIs, and runs scored at the break.
They're just on a different planet when you talk about Albert and that bat hit. I mean, nobody even close. I mean, Prince Fielder is pretty close in RBIs, but when you talk about home runs, when you combine batting average and home runs, Albert Pujols, cream of the crop.
Pujols garnering over 5 million votes as the National League All-Star starter at first base. Set a record for votes as Gallardo misses inside. 2 big bats in this series, and it was announced today that those 2 will be half of the field for the home run derby in the National League. Pujols and fielder Ryan Howard and Adrian Gonzalez. All 4 All-Star first basemen will be involved in the home run derby for the National League. That'll be fun to watch.
Yes, it will. Ball carries pretty well there at Busch Stadium.
Big boppers on Charlie Manuel's National League All-Star Club. Unusual to have 4 first basemen anyway, but all 4 deserving of their All-Star nods, and it's going to be fun to watch them hit the long ball on Monday night.
It'll be interesting to see how Charlie Manuel uses all 4 of them. You can only play one at a time over there.
No re-entry rule, huh?
No. And 2 of them are left-handed throwers. Gonzalez and Ryan Howard.
Pujols is a guy you could get away with playing somewhere else.
Well, he's going to start at first. That means he's going to have to play a lot.
And fans in St. Louis, where the All-Star game will be held, certainly excited about that. Rasmus takes off. The pitch is inside, and Pujols draws the walk. The Cardinals as a team don't walk much, but Pujols does. So their bases on balls numbers look a little better than they are throughout their lineup.
Yeah, a little bit deceiving, those walk numbers for Albert. Now 67 walks on the season, but 29 of those have been intentional walks. So if you're in a position with nobody at first base and Albert's coming up, just put him on.
I think Prince Fielder giving him the business a little bit. Hey man, we're pitching to you. Swing the bat a little bit, huh? 2 on for the Cardinals in the first, and here's Ryan Ludwig. Now Pujols aside, this is the danger spot for the Brewers. Ludwig has not been swinging the bat all that well, but he's a dangerous hitter. Was an All-Star last year. Missed a couple of weeks with a hamstring injury and still searching for his timing since his return.
And the hits that he has been getting have been singles and not a whole lot of extra base hit power. Most of those 11 home runs came early on. But still a threat. And I would imagine before it's all said and done, he's going to have his number. 20+ home runs. Because you know there's going to be men on base when he comes up.
Two balls and no strikes on Ludwig. Cardinals have 2 on with 1 away. And Ludwig hammers that one deep to right field. This is way back. Corey Hart looks up. Goodbye. Ryan Ludwig is finding his stroke. That is number 12. And just like that, the Cardinals are up 3-0. Boy, if Ludwig gets hot, look out. This is a very good ball club when they have somebody behind Pujols driving in runs.
If fastball away from and doesn't try and pull it. Hits it hard into right center into that Cardinals bullpen.
Three-run home run for Ryan Ludwig. And the Cardinals started with a bang tonight, quieting down this big crowd at Miller Park. Rick Ankiel returning to the lineup as well for the Cardinals. The last time the Brewers played St. Louis, twice in the month of May, neither Ludwig nor Ankiel were in the lineup. Ankiel out with a head injury and a neck injury after he crashed into the center field wall in April. He's been a struggling hitter as well that is still searching for his tempo.
Bill Hahn said he went on that curveball. Didn't need any help. Brewers have had success against Ankiel up in the strike zone, particularly with the hard stuff. Last time these two teams met, you mentioned that Albert Pujols pretty much on his own, and uncharacteristically, Albert Pujols was swinging the pitches out of the strike zone because he didn't have these two guys behind him in the order. Cardinals have used 8 different number 4 hitters in the batting order.
And their production from the cleanup spot on the order is dismal. As Ankiel just gets a piece to fight it off. You got guys like Ankiel and Chris Duncan as cleanup hitters here in the last couple of weeks, batting under 200. Ryan Ludwig in the last couple of weeks just over 200. But you got to figure they're going to turn it around at some point. They're going to achieve their numbers. Close pitch. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Rick Ankiel.
That fastball probably a bit down, had the plate.
Ken Maka is scratching his head right now with the Brewers, struggling a little bit. Crew just trying to pull up the anchor and get going. They thought this was going to be the significant stretch with a lot of home games. As Gallardo strikes out Rick Ankiel. Not a bad homestand last time around. I mean, it could have been great. Could have been a 6-3 homestand, but it was 5-4. But troubling series down in Chicago. The Brewers trying to address some holes in their starting rotation.
Yeah, when they had good pitching, they just weren't able to, get the run support. Jeff Suppan put together a dandy on Friday night. Brewers only able to muster 1 run. Ended up losing on a bases-loaded walk. And just one of those stretches where when you get good pitching, you're not swinging the bats, and vice versa. Just got to fight through it.
Yadier Molina, all-star starter in the National League. His first time as an all-star. Gold Glover from a year ago. He'll get his chance to start the all-star game in front of his home crowd in St. Louis next Tuesday, a week from today. Cardinals have played 2 more games than the Brewers have. Tied in the loss column. Cardinals are 45-39. The Brewers 43-39. Cardinals have played well on the road. They're a couple of games over 500 away from their own ballpark.
Cardinals playing much better last week, but before that they went on a stretch where they lost 6 of 7. So that inconsistency bug has been biting every team in the Central.
Very well balanced division in baseball, the National League Central, as Molina draws the walk. Tough inning for Gallardo here to get it started.
Well, walks have been an issue for Yo, even when he has his good games. Very uncharacteristic of Giovanni. Pitch counts have at times gotten the best of him. He had a couple of starts in a row where he was only able to go 5 innings because of the pitch count. A season high 6 walks a few starts ago, but still able to put up those numbers that we talked about on tonight's open. Last 8 have been very good, particularly last 2.
Quick trip to the mound from Bill Castro. That's one thing about Gallardo, you know, he knows that he is the ace of this ball club. There's certainly a lot of pressure on him to be the ace, and as good as he has been, hasn't received much run support. Maybe tonight will be the night the Brewers break out offensively and help him out. 3-run first inning, very un-Gallardo-like. As a matter of fact, the last time such a thing happened, it was against the Cardinals, but the game was rained out and all the stats were wiped away.
And no chance of that tonight.
No rain in the forecast, Rob?
We got a roof too.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Just in case a stiff nor'easter comes in.
Joe Thurston, the batter for the Cardinals. Roof is open. Beautiful afternoon for baseball. Afternoon into late evening. One and 2 the count. 32 pitches for Gallardo here in the first inning. He's given up 2 hits and 2 walks. Ryan Ludwig, a 3-run home run. Runner takes off, and Kendall can't handle the pitch. The slow-moving Yadier Molina running on the pitch would have been dead to rights in a caught stealing situation, but I don't know if Kendall was crossed up. Did all he could to make a play on it.
No, ball down in the dirt, looked like a curveball. Gallardo having a tough time commanding that curveball so far.
Curveball that's bounced up the middle, slow roller, and Counsell can't make a play. The inning continues. Infield hit. First and third for the Cardinals, with the pitcher Wainwright coming up, the 8th batter of the inning.
Yeah, Thurston runs pretty well. A high chopper over the mound. You knew right away it was going to be a tough play, particularly with Counsell fielding the baseball. If JJ was able to cut across, you might have a chance. But a curveball on a 2-2 count, and Thurston just gets a piece of it.
Well, a good hitting pitcher coming up in Adam Wainwright. He's been used 4 times this year as a pinch hitter by Tony La Russa, and has hit a couple of home runs in his career against the Milwaukee Brewers. 2 of his 4 career homers have come against the Brew Crew, including one of them this year.
Yeah, having a tough time with the bat this year, except for that 1 home run, 140 batting average. But throughout his career, and this is one of my Piggly Wiggly scatter report items, but unfortunately he's at the plate in the first inning. A 250 career hitter. That's not bad.
You were hoping maybe that'd be kind of a 3rd inning revisit Piggly Wiggly scouting report.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Quick start for the Cardinals. Oh, 2 the count on Wainwright, and down he goes. Good block of it by Kendall. And the side retired. 3 runs in, 37 pitch inning. Ryan Ludwig puts the Cardinals on top early. Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is presented by Menards. Save big money at Menards. By Time Warner Cable, the power of you. And brought to you by AT&T, your world delivered. Still filing in here at Miller Park. Expecting a big crowd tonight. And these folks will enter the building realizing their club is down by 3 runs thanks to the bat of that man. Ryan Ludwig with a 3-run home run. Now this Brewers lineup has to go to work. Lineup brought to you by Subway. Craig Counsell, J.J. Hardy, and Ryan Braun at the top. Maka's got Fielder, McGee, and Cameron in the middle, with Corey Hart, Jason Kendall, and Giovanni Gallardo rounding it out. And there is Adam Wainwright, 8-5 this year, a 3.32 earned run average. He has pitched very well against the Brewers this season, facing Craig Counsell to lead off. Down 3-0 before their first time at bat against Wainwright, as Counsell takes a strike. Counsell at 289 has a couple of home runs and 14 driven in. Wainwright has been one of the best in the National League in the last few weeks. Matter of fact, since the Brewers saw him last couple of months ago, he said he found a release point that he was comfortable with, and from that point on he has been really good. ERA down in the low 2s.
Yeah, that arm slot is giving him a little bit more sink on his fastball. He's got a very good curveball and changeup. When he's on, that curveball is devastating. It's one of the better curveballs that you'll see.
Counsell into center field. Rasmus right there for out number 1.
Now check out the Piggly Wiggly scouting report on Adam Wainwright, making his 3rd start against the Brewers already this year. So far 1-1 with a 120 earned run average. 8th career start against the Brewers. Got a good curve. He throws a lot with 2 strikes. I mean, it's a very good pitch. He keeps down in the strike zone, and as we talked about in the top of the inning, can swing the bat pretty well.
Wainwright against the Brewers in St. Louis on May 16th went 8 innings and gave up just 1 run, but took the loss in that game. He surrendered only 2 hits in 8 innings. One of those was a Corey Hart home run, and the Brewers won the game, shutting out the Cardinals 1-0 behind Jeff Suppan. And then Wainwright pitched a couple of weeks later against the Brewers here at Miller Park and went 7 innings and just 1 earned run allowed. An 8-1 Cardinal win that day. Wainwright coming off one of his best strikeout performances of his career. 12 punch-outs in 9 innings of work against the San Francisco Giants. He took a no decision in that game as Hardy strikes out. Molina secures it at first. 2 up and 2 down here in the first.
Yeah, we'll see how that affects him tonight. I mean, 122 pitches. That's a season high for Wainwright. Speaking of that curveball, dandy.
Here's how the Cardinals line up defensively. Ankiel, Rasmus, and Ludwig. Ankiel mostly playing in left field now with Rasmus, the everyday center fielder. Thurston, Ryan, Schumacher, and Pujols around the horn. Yadier Molina does the catching. Noticeably absent from the Cardinal defense is Mark DeRosa, who was placed on the 15-day disabled list today. DeRosa acquired in a trade with the Indians, and he was only in a Cardinal uniform for 10 days before having to be placed on the disabled list. Has a wrist injury.
Yeah, there is talk around that Cardinal clubhouse that it's a sheath tear. I mean, and Brewer fans will remember that that's the issue that Ricky Weeks has been dealing with. He had surgery on it. They're not talking about surgery for DeRosa, however, at this point.
It's a big pickup for the Cardinals. Sent shockwaves through the division, but DeRosa has been unable to play much for St. Louis, just a handful of games. And if it is a tear of the sheath in that wrist, which is what Ricky Weeks has endured twice now, it could be season ending, although the Cardinals aren't ready to go there yet. Adam Wainwright had a similar injury on his finger. The sheath that protects the tendon on his pitching hand knocked him out for a third of the season last season. That's why he made only 20 starts a year ago. So plenty of sheath talk in St. Louis and Milwaukee here in the last couple of years.
No, every team seems to be battling injuries, trying to get healthy, trying to keep the head above water until either guys get healthy or the team starts getting a little consistency.
Well, bouncer out to Thurston, and Braun is retired, and the side is down 1-2-3 in the first. 3-0 Cardinals. We head to the second at Miller Park. Cardinals lead 3-0 as we head to the second inning. Say, remember batting stance guy? He's back on Brewers baseball. Tonight we begin a new feature called Guess the Stance. You can text the name of those, the swing you think it is, at 234-234. Keyword Brewers. Brendan Ryan leads off. And an easy out to get the second inning started. And Giovanni Gallardo hoping for it a much cleaner inning than the first.
I didn't recognize the stance that we just saw. Did you?
I didn't.
Is that an obvious one? I didn't get it.
Didn't get it. Doesn't matter though, because we're gonna, even if we knew, we wouldn't really give it away yet.
We couldn't say, right? It's like the Affleck question.
Exactly.
We could talk about it but not give it away completely.
More coming up on that on Brewers Live. Top of the order, Skip Schumacher at the plate. He lined out to start the game. .302 hitter coming in, Schumacher. I think Schumacher has as much burden on him as anyone on this Cardinals lineup. It's one thing to protect Pujols in the 4 spot in the order, but it's another thing to get on base.
Now, Schumacher's done a fairly good job of getting on base. He's got that on base percentage at .360, hitting over .300. It's the guy between the leadoff hitter and Albert Pujols that's been a problem for Tony La Russa.
La Russa trying to find some consistency at the top of his order.
Now, Colby Rasmus, one of 10 different number 2 hitters that Tony La Russa has used this year. That's a lot.
I think Rasmus has finally found a spot on an everyday basis. He's doing a little platooning, still making sure Chris Duncan gets his at-bats, but La Russa, who has been tough on young players, to say the least, as far as playing time is concerned. I mean, if you're a young guy, you've really got to do something special to earn your way in La Russa's lineup. As Schumacher draws the walk. So a base runner with 1 away. Taco Bell, who's hot, coming into play tonight. Giovanni Gallardo, since May 25th, a 1.70 earned run average. He made a start against the Cardinals on the 25th of May, and from that point on, he's been one of the best in the National League.
And his last 2 starts have been tremendous. In 2 starts, he's only given up 9 hits before tonight. 9 hits and 2 runs in 2 starts. The Giants and the Mets.
Colby Rasmus has a home run against Gallardo that is invisible to the naked eye. That was the home run he hit before the rainout. That one's into left. Braun with room. Out number 2. And Schumacher tagging. And Braun's going to throw him out. What in the world is Skip Schumacher thinking?
Boy, oh boy.
With Pujols coming up. He's thrown out at second base to end the inning. Braun to Hardy, and the inning is over.
Welcome back to Miller Park for Brewers baseball as the Brewers trail the Cardinals by 3 runs here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Pitch counts and run support have really played Giovanni Gallardo over recent starts in spite of posting a 1.70 ERA in his last 8 starts. But we'll see if the Brewers bats can change that run support part and starting now in this bottom half of the 2nd inning, because Giovanni, he can really contain the Cardinals. He's only given up 3 runs or 3 or more runs in 4 of his 17 starts. So if he's able to hold the Cardinals and the Brewers bats get hot, then this can be a totally different ball game in the later innings, guys.
All right, Telly, thanks a lot. Prince Fielder leads off for the Brew Crew. Wainwright retiring the side 1-2-3 in the 1st inning. Well, the Brewer offense could certainly offer Gallardo a pick-me-up. He has been one of their best, and Gallardo has been involved in so many shutouts this year. His last time out, he lost 1-0. Mike Pelfrey of the Mets shut down the Brewers offense. Gallardo struck out 12, but took a loss despite giving up just the 1 run.
The 2nd time that Yo has lost 1-0 to the Mets.
And Santana got him back in April.
Well, let's see if the Brewers, with that little bit of momentum boost in the top of the 2nd inning, have no idea what Skip Schumacher's thinking there, getting thrown out at second base with Albert Pujols coming up. About as ill-advised a base running decision as there ever has been. Last thing you want to do is get thrown out with Albert coming up. More importantly, even if he makes it to second base, the Brewers are going to walk Albert intentionally. So really no benefit at all to that.
That put out, by the way, to win the inning went 7-6-4 on what turned out to be a double play.
Now, Skip Schumacher was hoping that Ryan Braun was going to be lackadaisical and probably keep his head down, and that did not happen. Ryan got it, knew right away he had to get rid of it quickly. A good job in the outfield. He guessed wrong, did Schumacher.
Here's Casey McGee with Fielder at first. Casey making a strong push up the top offensive departmental leaders in rookies in the rookie categories. He and Colby Rasmus. McGee comes in with a .343 batting average. 6 home runs on the season, 27 RBIs, had a terrific series against the Cubs. Had to feel good for McGee to do damage against the team that let him go, took him off their big league roster. Casey opens the day with the top batting average among all National League rookies. 10 points ahead of Ryan Hanigan of the Cincinnati Reds. But Wainwright strikes him out with that breaking ball. First out of the inning.
That curveball just nasty. The Brewers are going to have to figure out a way to be able to lay off that pitch. He throws it so hard and it goes straight down and very rarely makes a mistake with it. And see it right on the outside corner.
That was the strikeout version of that curveball. He's got the get over version that he commands well. Kind of uses his power curveball like a split finger pitch. You know, he can rack up a ton of strikeouts with that curveball.
Man, the scouting report on Wainwright is, I mean, early in the count he's going to go after you with fastballs, so you have to be aggressive and make sure you get a pitch to hit. He doesn't walk that many, 43 walks in 114 innings, and then he'll go with the changeup and the curveball to get you with 2 strikes.
Cameron takes strike 2. Cameron with 14 homers, 39 RBIs, only 1 RBI against the Cardinals this year. Got Fielder at first. Wainwright quickly ahead of Mike Cameron with 1 away. Just missed. 2-2. Good take by Cameron.
Yeah, there's that slider that he will throw from time to time to right-handed hitters. Doesn't throw it to lefties. Counsell's fielder probably will not see it.
A couple of Georgia natives matching up. Wainwright against Cameron, and it's ball 3. Wainwright, very highly touted out of college. He went to Georgia Tech. He was the Atlanta Braves' #1 pick back in 2000. Cameron lives in the Atlanta area. Traded to the Cardinals in 03 and was an instant success in their postseason run as Cameron shoots the gap in right center. Rasmus cuts it off, and Fielder will have to hold at second. Boy, Colby Rasmus covered some ground quickly. That was a terrific play by the Cardinals center fielder.
What a nice at-bat by Mike Cameron. He fought off a couple of off-speed pitches. Finally, on a 3-2 count, got a four-seamer right down the middle. Didn't try and pull it. We've seen a lot more of that from Cameron lately. Going to the opposite field. And able to shoot that one into center field. So first and second, only one out.
Big play by Rasmus keeps Fielder at second base. Otherwise, Prince at third with one out, and a sacrifice fly opportunity is available. Corey Hart, a base hit to left. Fielder got a late jump. Unable to score on the line drive. Hart hit that like a bullet right over the head of the shortstop, Brendan Ryan. And the bases are loaded for the Brewers here with one away.
I think the more you get through this game, you're going to see the Brewers attack Wainwright early in the count. That was a slider that stayed up. 86 miles an hour. Good pitch to hit. A lot of times with a guy like Wainwright, best pitch to hit is the first strike.
So it's Jason Kendall with the bases loaded and one away. Cardinals got 3 runs in the first. Now the Brewers trying to return the favor. On the corner, a strike. Fielder walk. Cameron with a single to right center. Hart a single in the left. Well, how big is that play by Colby Rasmus looking right here as Kendall takes strike 2.
Yeah, he got a good jump on it, cut it off. That ball gets by him with probably 2 runs in already for the Brewers.
Kendall pulls one foul. Well, Ken Maka has been calling for his hitters to deliver with runners on base, improve their quality of at-bats in situations like this. Kendall lays off a tough slider.
And the way you do that is you just take what the pitcher's going to give you. Don't try and hit the home run. Base hits just fine in these situations, and hitters like Kendall will ordinarily do a better job in these situations.
Outfielder is extremely shallow for the Cardinals. Kendall bounces one over short, and it hits Mike Cameron.
Oh, man. Well, runners have to go back now.
Everybody placed back where they started.
Except for Cameron.
Cameron is out. Kendall will be given credit for a hit.
But you can't allow that to happen. That would have been a run. Ouch. High chopper with 2 strikes, just trying to put the bat on the baseball. Cameron ran right into it. You could see it all the way. Actually, he hit him in the knee. So Prince Fielder has to go back to third base and give Jason Kendall a base hit.
Put out on Cameron goes 6 unassisted. Base is still loaded, but now 2 outs. And here is Giovanni Gallardo. 3 hits in the inning and a walk, and no runs in yet.
Well, that might have been a base hit the way that was bouncing, and really Harris didn't look like he had much of a play on it. I think his best shot was to throw to third base to get Cameron. Would have been very tough to get Jason at first base. That's a big play.
A couple of base running miscues already. Gallardo trying to help his own cause. A tough matchup for anyone, especially for a pitcher at the plate. Even a good hitting pitcher like Yovani Gallardo. Gallardo does his damage on high fastballs typically. Unlikely to see one in a spot like this. And Gallardo goes. And the side retired. Boy, frustration quickly tonight. Brewers strand, the bases loaded.
Welcome back to Brewers baseball from Miller Park, where the Brewers trail the Cardinals by 3 runs here in the top of the 3rd inning. I'm pleased to be joined by Brewers Executive Vice President of Business Operations, Rick Schlesinger. Rick, you guys were nominated 7th, ranked 7th in fan satisfaction poll out of 122 major league franchises. Got to feel pretty good about that.
Got 6 more spots to go, but it's a great report card from the fans. It's 50,000 fans voted across the country, and you know, ranking high in affordability, fan experience, ballpark experience, team performance. It's great. You know, we want to do even better next year, but 7th is pretty good.
Well, Saturday is a very special day here at Miller Park. And talking about jerseys coming off, some of the players back. Can you tell how some lucky winners can get that opportunity?
Yeah, the player wives are raising money for United Cerebral Palsy of Southeastern Wisconsin. So for $1, you get a raffle ticket, chance to win a player jersey through the 4th inning on Saturday. And after the game, lucky fans who win the raffle will actually receive the jersey on the field.
Well, Rick, thanks for your time, and good luck with that program.
Thank you, sir.
All right, Brian, let's send it back to you.
All right, Telly, thanks. Thanks to Rick Schlesinger. Albert Pujols leads off for the Cardinals. Well, what a frustrating inning, Rock, in the 2nd. The Brewers get 3 hits and a walk, but cannot score against Adam Wainwright, and the Cardinals stranding the bases loaded.
And Yovani Gallardo getting called out by home plate umpire Bill Hahn on a check swing. Dale Swaim, Brewers hitting coach, ejected. You know, giving Bill Hahn a piece of his mind, not necessarily because he thought Gallardo didn't go, but maybe thinking that Bill Hahn, the home plate umpire, should ask for help down at first base.
So Maka is down a hitting coach. Swaim sent to the clubhouse.
Most of the time when a check swing is close, umpire will ask for help.
And now Bill Hahn's getting it from the Brewers dugout.
Wondering why Albert Pujols isn't called out.
I don't know who he just ran. I assume it's Maka.
And he's just going to clear out the bench, apparently. Can't blame the Brewers for their frustration. I mean, if you don't ask for help and you ring Gallardo up, what's the difference? Albert Pujols does the same thing.
Well, maybe he threw out Willie Randolph, because Randolph wants to talk about it with Hahn. So maybe it's not Maka who's ejected.
Well, there's some umpires where you just can't even say anything. You can't say their name. You can't even address them, and they'll throw you out, apparently. Well, he didn't go. I mean, no reason to think that he went on that. Now, here's the other one. He didn't go either.
And that's what got Dale Swaim thrown out.
Yeah, just ask for help. And if you ask for help, the first base umpire with a better look at it, Bruce Dreckman, probably would have given Gallardo an opportunity to swing the bat again. Didn't ask for help for Yovani's swing. Did ask for help down at first for Pujols. That's what the Brewers are upset about. Not necessarily just the call.
So it is Willie Randolph who has been ejected. So the Brewers are down 2 coaches now. Ball and 2 strikes on Pujols. And Gallardo back to work. 3-0 St. Louis. Ryan Ludwig hit a 3-run homer in the 1st.
Ordinarily, when it's obvious, when a hitter clearly goes through home plate and makes a swing, in an attempt to check it, home plate umpire is going to call it, because it's very difficult on a close play anyway for an umpire to see where the baseball is and watch the path of the bat. That's why they ask for help. And that's what the Brewers are frustrated about.
Gallardo strikes out Albert Pujols.
Had some hair on that fastball, 94 miles an hour. Here it is, hit it up in the zone, and Albert swings right through it. That's about as much as you're going to see Giovanni reach back with a fastball.
Third strikeout for Gallardo, had 2 in the first inning. And here's Ryan Ludwig, who hit the first inning home run that put the Cardinals on the board.
They see a lot of frustration in that Brewers dugout.
Yeah.
Can't you just tell? You can just tell.
It was mounting in Chicago. The bases loaded walk that led to one of the losses. You see Ludwig's long ball in the first inning. Even the off day yesterday had plenty of drama with the comments of Ryan Braun, and Ryan Braun talking about or asking publicly for the Brewers to make a deal, be involved in the trade situation. Doug Melvin responding to that publicly. So both cleared the air earlier today. Ryan Braun met with the media and said everything's behind him now.
You just can't go to the media with that kind of thing. That's the thing that upsets an organization. I mean, if a player wants to go up to the general manager's office, close the door and have a chat, that's one thing, but doing it through the press, just can't do that. That's what got everything spiraling out of control after those comments. And Ryan Braun saying he apologizes if it hurt anyone's feelings, and I think you got to believe, that's a little bit of the part of the frustration as well in that dugout.
Two outs for Gallardo, and here's Rick Ankiel, and a strike on the corner.
Now you can basically say anything when the doors are closed in that clubhouse. I mean, nobody's really going to have any hard feelings if you whatever it is you say, because it's not out there in the public. It's not embarrassing anybody. It's not calling anybody out. But you do it. You start doing it on the radio. You do it on television or in the newspapers. That's a different story.
I think that was Doug Melvin's point and his goal, and Melvin met with Braun earlier today as Ankiel swings at a pitch. Ankiel doesn't dare ask Bill Hahn to ask for help next time. 1-2 the count. I wouldn't call it a full-blown controversy, but a bump in the road for sure.
Well, the kind of thing that happens when your team is struggling from time to time. You win 10 straight, none of that stuff's going to come out.
2 balls, 2 strikes. And Gallardo strikes him out. So a good inning for Giovanni. The Brewers lose 2 coaches in the last inning and a half. Still down 3-0. Now fans back at Miller Park, baseball resuming here at the beautiful ballpark just west of downtown. The Brewers starting a 6-game homestand here tonight. The Cardinals, then the Dodgers come to town. Craig Counsell shoots one to the opposite field, a base hit. So the Brewers are getting their hits against Wainwright. Now they'll try to put somebody across the pay station. At the right part of the order coming up is Counsell, the leadoff hitter, reaches base for J.J. Hardy.
Now sometimes those high pitch count starts, like the one Wainwright had his last time out, has an effect 4 days later or 5 days later.
Wainwright with 122 pitches his last time out, season high in a 9-inning performance against the Giants.
Yep, the 7th time that he's gone at least 110 pitches. That's why he's up amongst league leaders in innings pitched. 114 coming in, ranks 8th in the National League.
Hardy struck out in the first inning and pops this one up. Brendan Ryan will make the call and the catch, and one away here in the 3rd. Now our U.S. Cellular poll question this week. We'll keep it going through Sunday. Should the All-Star Game winner determine World Series home field advantage? W for yes, X for no. 234-234 is the number to text, courtesy of U.S. Cellular.
Can I wait to see if the National League wins this year before I answer that?
Sure, you keep that one.
It's the first time since '96. They're due.
In a National League stadium this year, the All-Star game will be in St. Louis a week from tonight. Ryan Braun and Prince Fielder, the two Brewer representatives. Many feel Giovanni Gallardo should be there. I certainly do. But Gallardo is scheduled to pitch Sunday prior to the All-Star game, and that might have had something to do with Charlie Manuel's decision to keep him off the roster.
Now, you don't have the luxury of putting a guy on the All-Star team and not being able to use him anymore. If you're on the team, you got to be able to pitch.
The Cardinals have 3 All-Stars, 2 starters, Yadier Molina and Albert Pujols, and Ryan Franklin, their closer, is an All-Star for the first time at 36 years of age. Braun batting with Counsell over at first base and 1 away here in the 3rd.
I'm a little bit surprised that Trevor Hoffman didn't make the ball club. I mean, he's got the 18 saves. He missed a month. He missed the first month of the season. And, it's kind of maybe one of those Lifetime Achievement Award selections. I mean, he's certainly deserving with the numbers. With the saves. Ryan Franklin with 20. It may be Trevor's last one. Who knows? Thought maybe he would get the nod.
And the man who replaced Hoffman in San Diego leads the league in saves, Heath Bell. He's headed to the All-Star game. Braun chases a breaking ball. And Wainwright now has 4 strikeouts. Now Franklin's numbers compared to Trevor Hoffman's, both have been terrific this year. They've only blown 1 save apiece. Franklin with 20 saves.
Well, no way are we saying, or am I saying, that Franklin doesn't belong on the team. He certainly does, but I thought that maybe Trevor would make it, the all-time saves leader.
And having a resurgent season in Milwaukee. I think the Brewers would like to actually see Trevor pitch here at some point. It's been a while. He's thrown only 1 pitch in about, what, 12 days, is it?
Yeah.
11 days. Prince Fielder still leads the ball club with 22 homers. He and Braun and Cameron, the top 3 home run hitters in our Powerball home run leaderboard. And the Brew Crew at 96 home runs for the season. This is game number 83 tonight. Fielder walked his last time up. And a curveball strike. 1-2 the count on Fielder. Prince enjoying a breakout season. 2nd in the major leagues in RBIs, just behind Pujols. Fielder's driven in 76. Pujols with 82. That's just incredible to think about.
And both of them over 300. Prince coming in, I should say, at this at bat at 313. That guy's in another stratosphere of talent. Albert Pujols. He's done it now for 10 years.
Counsell takes off, and a breaking ball. No throw made by Molina. Counsell picked the right pitch to run on and instantly moves into scoring position. And you say, well, that leaves the base open at first, but there's 2 strikes on Fielder, so that changes the game plan a little bit. 3rd stolen base for Counsell. See what they do with Fielder now. Beats one into the ground towards Schumacher, and the side retired. Brewers have left 4. Wainwright shutting them out through 3. Baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is presented by Flames Farm and Fleet. You'll always find value at your local Farm and Fleet. By Piggly Wiggly, shop the pig and save. And by Ho Chunk Gaming Wisconsin. Maybe a little foreshadowing there. Gallardo. Giovanni would love to hit one out once again. But doing his main purpose on the mound here, as a bunch of Gallardo fans have gathered in the outfield. Giovanni does have 4 strikeouts, struck out 2 in the 3rd inning, his best inning so far. One swing of the bat has the Cardinals up 3-0. Ryan Ludwig in the 1st inning, after a Pujols walk, hit one out to right center. Yadier Molina leads off for the Cardinals. All-star catcher.
He's a guy that just continues to improve offensively. He's always been a very good defensive catcher. Good throw-out percentage.
That one is down the line and a fair ball. Hard over to cut it off. Molina does not run well, but into second base with a double.
And getting ready to add that he uses right field particularly well, particularly right center. Only pulls the ball begrudgingly. Doesn't like to pull the ball too much. At a fastball, middle in, and slices it down the right field line for a leadoff double. Good job by Corey Hart playing the carom off that padding.
So a leadoff double. The Cardinals now with 4 hits against Gallardo. And here's Joe Thurston, St. Louis 3rd baseman. They figured DeRosa was going to get most of the time at 3rd base after the trade was made. DeRosa on the 15-day disabled list now with a wrist injury.
Yeah, Joe Thurston not only struggling offensively, but he's committed 10 errors at 3rd base.
The Cardinals are somewhat hopeful that Troy Gloss can return this year. Gloss has started with baseball activity down in Florida. Gloss had shoulder surgery and still not throwing the ball well, but starting to swing the bat, take ground balls, and they're hopeful that Gloss can perhaps return in the month of August.
Yeah, they're banged up. I mean, Kyle Loesch on the disabled list. He's got a forearm strain. Khalil Green on the DL. We're not sure what's going on with Khalil Green. They call it social anxiety. We're on the disabled list on June 28th.
We've seen that disabled list entry from a couple of other big leaguers. Joey Votto was one, and Dontrell Willis has been on the disabled list with social anxiety or anxiety disorder. It's the first year that has been allowed as a disabled list moniker. Injury. Thurston draws the walk. 2 on for the Cardinals here to start the 4th inning. Aflac trivia tonight. Who was the first Brewers hitter to participate in the home run derby? That's a good question.
Yes, it is.
You know the answer?
I'm trying to think, which is dangerous.
Adam Wainwright up there to bunt, it looks like. Squaring early. And pops it up. Gallardo can't make the play. Kendall plays it in fair territory and gets the lead out at 3rd base. Smart play by Kendall. Risky, but smart once he gets the lead out.
Well, what's smart about that is because Molina had to stay put at second base. He wasn't sure if Kendall was going to catch it in the air. And by the time he gets there, way too late for Molina to advance to third base. So the Cardinals not able to execute the sacrifice. And an easy out at third. Runner is caught in no man's land on a play like that.
Here's Brendan Ryan now with the runners at first and second. Get the lead out. You keep the double play intact. And we'll see if Gallardo can get through this fourth after giving up a couple of base runners to start it. Ryan, last time up, flew out to center field. He swung at the first pitch from Gallardo. Giovanni was 74 pitches as we play in the fourth. Faced the minimum in the second. 3 up, 3 down in the third inning with a couple of strikeouts. He's given up 4 hits thus far. And 3 walks, make it 4 walks. Little bouncer. Hardy only play to first in the dirt. How about Prince Fielder digging one out? That would have been a run if Fielder does not make that play.
Boy, and in between hop, and Prince able to handle it beautifully, able to keep his foot on the bag. Well, a tough play for JJ. In between hop, Prince handles it beautifully, and just in case that ball got by Prince, Corey Hart was really busting it down into foul territory to back up that play. So good effort all around by the Brewers defense. No such thing as a spectator when you're out in the field. Everybody's got a place to be.
Top of the order, Schumacher swings away at the first pitch. Fastball from Gallardo, and it's 0-1. Schumacher has lined out and walked here tonight. It's early, but it is a big spot in this game. Cardinals lead 3-0. Wainwright pitching well. Can't afford to go down any more than you already are. 1-2. Schumacher, a 300 hitter. And the 1-2, and Gallardo strikes him out. A power breaking ball from Gallardo. And the Cardinals strand a pair. That might be a turning point right there as Gallardo puts the first 2 on, but gets out of it unscathed.
Ryan Ludwig gives the Cardinals a 3-0 lead in the first inning. And that's where we stand right now. A couple of base running gaps. Skip Schumacher trying to take second base with Albert Pujols coming up, and this could have cost the Brewers a run, maybe 2. Gets hit with a ball as he gets to third base. Cameron out. Kendall gets a base hit, and no runs on the board for Milwaukee. 3-0 Cardinals.
Now the Brewers have left 4 on here tonight. Cardinals have stranded 4 as well. One big swing of the bat from Ludwig. The difference in the ball game right now. 3-0 St. Louis. Casey McGee, Mike Cameron, and Corey Hart. First 3 up against Adam Wainwright. And McGee sends one out to Brendan Ryan for out number 1. Affleck. All right, Rock, our Affleck trivia tonight. The first Brewers hitter to participate in the home run derby.
Those are Burnitz.
Jeremy Burnitz. Affleck. A good guess. Greg Vaughn, a better guess.
Vaughney, that's right. Forgot about Vaughney. How can I forget about Greg Vaughn? Come on.
1996. Richie Sexson participated twice. Fielder in San Francisco in 07. And of course Braun last year.
Bernie at Fenway Park.
Home run derby now in its 25th year.
I remember Burnitz afforded himself pretty well.
If there was ever a contest made for Jeremy Burnitz,
you betcha,
it was the home run derby. I'm looking forward to the matchup this year, though. The American League participants have not been announced, but in the National League, it's the 4 first basemen. Fielder, Pujols, Adrian Gonzalez and Ryan Howard. The first Derby was in 1985 and had 5 hitters from each league. They've kind of toyed with it ever since. I think they've found their groove now. It's now 4 players from each league. One year they had the international look to it. You represented your country.
Yeah.
Back in 05.
That didn't last long.
Just one season. That was 05.
Yeah.
I think it was. Nobody will ever forget Josh Hamilton's home run derby. And many don't remember who won that home run derby. They think Josh Hamilton won the derby. He just had the amazing second round.
Yeah, Justin Morneau won it and begrudgingly took the trophy.
Full count to Cameron with 1 away in the 4th. And a bouncer in the hole. Ryan's got a good arm, uses the grass, and Cameron is out. Something else from Brendan Ryan at shortstop.
Now that was a nice play. As you mentioned, he's got a very good throwing arm over there at shortstop. He goes deep into the hole, sets himself, and one hops it on purpose, and he gives Albert a nice long hop to deal with. That's an easy play for the first baseman. You can't put that much on it and expect to get it there all the way in the air. Good play.
Only 2 errors at the shortstop position this year. Ryan has made the first 2 plays in this inning. Corey Hart banging away on the first pitch, and he has his second hit.
Well, it'd be nice to get that guy hot, get that guy going. Corey Hart. Most of his damage when he's swinging the bat well comes center field and over to right center. Taking that pitch on a ball that you would think that he'd try and pull somewhere down the line, able to pull the hands in and shoot it into center field. That's a nice approach.
Jason Kendall with 2 outs. We'll see if Hart is on the move here at some point. Brock, as you mentioned during the break, you know, the best time to run against Wainwright is once he gets ahead in the count. You certainly don't want to challenge Molina, who's one of the best throwing catchers in the game.
Well, you want to challenge him deeper into the count because you know a curveball is going to be coming. We talked about it on our scouting report tonight that when he has 2 strikes on a hitter, he likes to go with that curveball, and that's a tough pitch for a catcher to handle, even when it's a strike. A lot of times it's down in the zone. You get a good jump with 2 strikes, and pretty good chance you're not going to get a fastball.
Maka sending a call for Yovani Gallardo.
Get on deck.
Got to have somebody out there. Yo says, I'm ready. I'm ready.
He's thinking, I thought we were in Detroit again.
No DH tonight. Kendall, little flare. Coming in is Ludwig. He collides with Schumacher. Schumacher, who hangs on to the baseball. So the inning is over. Brewers strand a base runner, and we head to the 5th.
The top of the 5th, and it's time for us to check in with the crew in the community. Last week at Summerfest, Brewers Executive Vice President of Finance and Administration Bob Quinn was dancing to a different tune as he took the stage with the band Hoi Polloi. Quinn played guitar for the rock and reggae band for a set. It was the 3rd appearance for Quinn at Summerfest. So guys, I think he knows exactly what he's doing on stage.
No, man, I've seen him play a lot. He's got a lot of talent.
Got some rhythm.
He does.
Really does.
He played the winter warm-up earlier this year with Hoi Polloi too. We call that a great axe man. Can handle the axe. Good for Bob on the Summerfest stage. All went well at Summerfest. A lot of hard work. Great fun though in Milwaukee. Summerfest. The Brewers were on a homestand during Summerfest last week. Wrapped up Sunday. And Big crowds down by the lakefront. 3-0 Cardinals lead it. As Rasmus sends one deep to right, and it's 4-0 Cardinals. Colby Rasmus belts his 11th home run of the year.
Boy, all this talk about Albert Pujols, and the guys around Albert getting it done. The guy in front of him and the guy now behind him. Colby Rasmus with number 11 on the season. Boy, it's a dangerous spot down in the zone with that guy up. What a nice swing. A little bit of an uppercut. Centers on it, and second deck out there and right. 12th and 13 home runs allowed by Yovani Gallardo this year. He's done a nice job keeping the ball in the park.
All runs coming on home runs. Rasmus with 2 hits against Gallardo, and he scored twice. Pujols rips one back up the middle. Well, time now for our carsoup.com email the booth question. Willie in Pewaukee wants to know, is there such a thing as a perfect baseball swing?
Well, they say Ted Williams had one. A little bit of a slight uppercut, although that guy right there just showed you a pretty good swing too. Covers both sides of the plate, up and down. Covers all the speeds. That's about as close to a perfect swing as there is in baseball right now. Albert Pujols.
Machine-like.
Always on balance. You ever see that guy off balance? Even if he strikes out. Never off balance.
Now, in 8 major league seasons, Pujols, the worst he has done in individual categories, I'll just throw 4 there. Ouch, okay. The worst he's done, 314 average, the lowest.
Bad year.
That's his bad year.
That's
32
bad year.
home runs was his worst home run year.
Go get him next year.
He already has 31 this year.
Right.
103 RBIs, the fewest he's driven in a season. And 99 runs, his worst year scoring runs. If those are your worst years, you're doing something historic. As Ludwig pops it up, Cameron makes a play for out number 1.
Well, you just can't say enough about what that guy has done in 8 years. I mean, now 9 years. It's incredible. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. Arguably the best right-handed hitter in the National League. Well, follow your team on your iPhone and iPod Touch with MLB.com at Bat 2009. It features play-by-play video highlights and live audio broadcasts. Visit Brewers.com on your iPhone or iPod Touch.
Now, this homestand will feature 2 of the best right-handed hitters of all time in Albert Pujols and Manny Ramirez. And honestly, Ryan Braun is starting to hit his way into that category. His career is just beginning, of course.
A lot of comparisons between the start of Pujols' career and Ryan Braun. You're right. It's awfully dangerous when you start talking about of all time. You know, nobody's ever seen everybody, but you talk to Al Roboski, the TV analyst for the Cardinals. He says he's the best right-handed hitter he's ever seen. Talking about Pujols. Aaron not too shabby. But the Brewers have a couple of their own superstars.
Now, Pujols has accounted for 25% of St. Louis's runs this year. Runs driven in. 25% of a major league team he's driven in. Not just a major league team, but a pennant contending team. A first place team to start play today. And Keel down on strikes. Gallardo hits the corner with a fastball and has 6 strikeouts.
I just got to keep grinding it out. That pitch catches plenty of the plate down at the knees. And Keel having a tough night.
Gallardo has struck him out all 3 times up, representing half of his strikeouts. 2 outs. Pujols still at first, and Yadier Molina at the plate. 4-0 Cardinals. A 3-run homer by Ludwig in the first inning, and Colby Rasmus a solo shot to start this 5th. Cardinals are going to have a busy week the rest of the way. They'll play 7 games in the next 6 days. They have a day-night doubleheader at Wrigley Field on Sunday. Talk right now is Kyle Lohse is going to return for that game. Lohse starting tonight for the Cardinals in AAA in a rehabilitation start, and is expected back, if all goes well, is expected back Sunday against the Cubs as part of that doubleheader. I think the Cardinals are feeling pretty good about where they are. They feel like they have endured a number of injuries. They lost significant time to 2 of their 3 outfielders, their starters, Ankiel and Ryan Ludwig. Weathered that storm. They got Chris Carpenter back, and here they are in first place and feeling like they are close to being healthy once again.
Well, I thought they were really looking good with Mark DeRosa, but no telling how long he's going to be out. They still have a bit of a hole at third base. I mean, you can endure a lot of those types of things if your pitching is holding you up. I mean, that has been very consistent for the Cardinals this year, especially that starting rotation.
Now Lohse has been down with a strained muscle in his forearm, his pitching arm. So he comes back, solidifying a pretty potent starting rotation as it is. Todd Wellemeyer is beginning to pitch well as well. He had a good start his last time out. Wellemeyer scheduled to pitch tomorrow. Full count to Molina. Cardinals did make a couple of moves today. They recalled Nick Stavinoa and Brian Barden from AAA Memphis. Those 2 were playing a lot, if not every day, the last time the Brewers saw the Cardinals. Pujols takes off. Molina takes ball 4.
Now 5 walks for Yo. Very uncharacteristic. Having a tough time with that curveball tonight. He's thrown some good ones, but for the most part, it's been a struggle for him.
Gallardo with the extra day's rest, with the off day yesterday. Pitchers are creatures of habit as well. Sometimes that extra day can throw a kink into it a little bit.
Yeah, particularly if you have that off day right before your start. Kind of takes you out of that routine.
Guys do anything different when you have an off day like that? You change up your side sessions at all? Extend it or add one?
I don't know. You know, he may very well have come to the ballpark and kind of got, you know, over to the locker, hang out a little bit. I don't know. I don't know what a guy does. I don't think he does anything different because you really don't do anything the day before you pitch. I doubt that the Brewers want him to extend anything in his side sessions because they're already concerned about his pitch counts. Probably spent a nice quiet day at home yesterday like the rest of them.
You take the chart home, chart a game on TV.
Why not?
Get you locked in. A lot of people feel that way. Yovani Gallardo started game 1 of the Brewers postseason last year against the Phillies after coming back from major knee surgery. That was something else. That will forever go down in Brewers lore as one of the great comebacks. Gallardo looked like he was lost for the season, injured in early May of 2008, blew out his knee, his right knee, came back, made a start in the regular season, Went just 4 innings. And Dale Swain made him his game 1 starter. And he pitched well that day. Took the loss, but stood in there tough.
Well, certainly has the mental makeup to be able to handle something like that. Well, Joe Thurston with Wainwright on deck, giving the green light on 3-0.
Gallardo now over the 100 pitch count. He's at 101. 2 on, 2 out, and the 3-1. That's hit well. Deep right center field. Hart at the track. Looks like he has room, and he's got it for the out. Close call, but Gallardo gets out of it. The Cardinals strand 2 more, but they get a run on a Rasmus homer. Work to do tonight. Brewers down 4-0. It's time to bring you up to speed with the AT&T Rapid Rewind. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. Well, they're having fun here at Miller Park. First game of this homestand. But the Brewers are down 4-0. Got some work to do tonight. And it's going to be a short night for Yovani Gallardo. Taken out of this game after 5 innings. Gallardo surrendering 6 hits and 4 runs. 5 walks for Yovani tonight and 6 strikeouts. Jody Garrett will lead off. Garrett pinch hitting for Gallardo. Adam Wainwright has shut out the Brewers. Their best chance to score was in the second. Milwaukee had the bases loaded. Had 3 hits and a walk in the inning and could not score. Comebacker Wainwright, easy play, 1 away.
Well, the absolute last thing that Ken Maka needed after the off day, and you've got Yo out on the mound to start the homestand. You get a short start out of Yovani, and didn't want to go to his bullpen this early, that's for sure.
I want to remind you, Brewers Live is going on the road to celebrate family fun at the Wisconsin Dells July 17th through the 19th. Join Craig Davey and the Brewers Live crew for your chance to be on TV, win prizes, and more. You only have 10 days to book your trip, so log on to wisdells.com for more information. Top of the order, Craig Counsell. By the way, Rock, that stolen base for Counsell in the 3rd inning, a milestone stolen base. You know, we're infatuated with round numbers in this game.
Right.
Counsell goes from 99 to 100 steals.
Good job.
He once stole 26 bases in a season with the Arizona Diamondbacks. Not too long ago. That was in 05.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not going to pull the base out of the ground and pronounce himself the greatest of all time, but he does have 100 steals.
Yeah. You got that going for him. Like to steal a few more, get some runs here.
How many steals you have in your career, Rock?
I don't know. I know I had 5 one year.
Did you?
Yeah, I was the delayed steal guy. I had a few of those.
Oh, that's right. Is he going to be an instructional soon about the delayed steal? It's a lost art, really.
Yeah, we had one last year. Kendall had one. Was it last year, right?
Uh-huh.
I think it was in Minnesota.
I remember that.
Yeah, we can have an instructional. I think we're going to talk about rundowns today. We're going to have some kids running around. We're going to work them a little bit.
Better to work them than yourself.
Well, yeah, if we have kids, we're going to do something that involves a lot of running.
You'll be in a supervisor's role, I assume?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. You can be a little intimidating with the children, Rock, so
you think?
You might want to get down on their level, look at them eye to eye.
Down on one knee, maybe?
Yeah. You know, kind of in a grandfatherly tone.
I get grass stains on my pants.
Sorry, kid. Hardy a bouncer to short, bobbled by Ryan. And Hardy is aboard. Well, an error by Brendan Ryan, only his 3rd of the season, and that opens the door a little bit. It at least gives Ryan Braun a chance to swing the bat here in the 5th inning.
Yeah, give the big boys a shot with men on base. Ball came up on him a little bit, rolled up his glove, and JJ at first base. Any way you can get these guys up with men on base. I think Brendan Ryan charged that ball a little bit more than he had to.
So here is Braun with Hardy at first. And Braun just hoping to get Fielder another look at Wainwright in this inning.
You can always tell a guy that has a good arm, he doesn't have to play on the skin of the infield. Brendan Ryan consistently about 3 steps back on the outfield grass. You don't see too many shortstops do that. Only ones with very good throwing arms.
One of the best arms in the game right now. I'd say probably the best throwing arm at the shortstop position, Troy Tulowitzki at this point. Tulowitzki's one of those guys that kind of, revs up. He takes a couple of steps and fires.
Kind of a Sean Dunston type delivery, not the same results. Dunston had a problem with accuracy from time to time.
J.J. Hardy has a strong throwing arm as well.
And always accurate.
Well, Wainwright has really fooled Ryan Braun with that breaking ball tonight.
And that's kind of a rarity because Ryan very good on pitches away from him. Got him on a curveball his last time up. That was a slider that time.
Braun sitting on a 12-game hit streak, longest of the year for the Brewers. 0 for 2 tonight. Ball and 2 strikes. Hardy at first.
Yeah, that's why you run with 2 strikes. Right there, good example of it. Just about every time he's going to give you a curveball with 2 strikes. But down 4-0 with these 2 guys up, it's station to station.
Fielder would be next, hoping for a chance here in the 5th. 4-0 Cardinals. And Braun strikes out Wainwright. A sharp breaking slider, and the inning is over. The Brewers get a base runner on an error but cannot move him. Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is presented by the Wisconsin Lottery and its family of instant scratch games. Odds are you'll like them. By Airtran. Go. There's nothing stopping you. And by Aflac. We've got you under our wing. Big crowd on a Tuesday night here at Miller Park. But the visiting Cardinals have kept them quiet thus far. 4-0 St. Louis. Cardinals have out-hit the Brewers 6-5. Brewers have had a few chances against Adam Wainwright, but he has been able to do his best work with men on base. And now the Brewers will turn to their bullpen. Chris Narveson is on the pitch. Gallardo is out after 5 innings and 4 earned runs.
I expect a couple of innings out of Narveson, who's in his 9th game for Milwaukee this year. Last pitched on Sunday. A couple of days ago in Chicago. Pitched an inning, gave up a run. I've just seen too much of the early part of the bullpen, the front end of the bullpen for the Brewers lately.
Narveson getting ahead of Adam Wainwright. Ball and 2 strikes. Unfortunately, Ken Maka has had to play the go eat up some innings for me card a little too often here lately. Narveson strikes out Wainwright for out number 1.
Now let's check out tonight's Tavern of the Game winner, and it's the Alpine Inn in La Crosse, Wisconsin. If they call the Brewers by 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, they get 40 tickets to a Brewers home game this year. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite.
The 9-hitter Brendan Ryan at the plate. 0 for 2 tonight. keeping an eye on that Phillies-Cincinnati game in Philadelphia tonight. It's all tied at 3. They play in the 9th inning there. Ryan Howard is homered again. He has 21 now. One behind Fielder in the National League. Jason Worth is also homered, and Rocky's got 18 on the season. He's having a breakout year in Philadelphia.
Yeah, talking about a guy that takes the ball to right center pretty well. We've been talking about Molina, but I'll tell you, Jason Worth, one of those guys, when he's hot, he is hot. He's a very streaky hitter. And that ballpark just perfect for a guy that likes right center field.
Reds have just taken the lead in the 9th. 4-3 they lead the Phillies. Scoring on Brad Lidge. Well, it's the standard move in baseball. The closer comes in a tie game in his home ballpark. Tonight, Brad Lidge giving up the run that has the Reds on top. Cincinnati starting the day 3.5 back of the Cardinals, 2.5 behind the Brewers. Ryan, a little flare over the head of Counsell and a base hit.
Well, Counsell almost able to get there. That ball was slicing as it got out to the outfield. Actually, Counsell overran it a bit, but I don't think he would have been able to make the catch anyway. See him having to reach back just a little bit, just not able to get out there far enough. A little jam shot off the bat of Ryan for a 1-out single.
Ryan's first hit turned the lineup over to Skip Schumacher with a runner at first and one away. Much anticipated matchup in New York tonight. Manny Ramirez returning to New York. The Dodgers leading the Mets 7-0. And Manny was ejected from the game. Ryan takes off. Kendall can't handle the pitch, and a stolen base for Brendan Ryan.
Any details?
I believe it was on a called third strike. You know, you can't argue balls and strikes.
No.
Automatic ejection.
Well, some umpires will get a little bit of a leeway as long as you're walking back toward the dugout, but apparently Manny said something that he shouldn't have had. Bernie Brewer in the background didn't like it.
Bernie's got good seats tonight.
He wears his heart on his sleeve, doesn't he? You can really tell what's going on with the Brewers just by the reactions of Bernie.
That's why he struggles in poker. Even though you can't really see anything in his eyes. 7 stolen base for Ryan. Schumacher lines one to left. Braun is right there for it, and it's out number 2.
So no poker face or Bernie, huh?
No. John Hirschbeck ejected Manny Ramirez in New York.
That's been bad because what I remember from John Hirschbeck, who was an American League umpire when I was playing, been around a while. He'll give you some leeway.
Now, Ramirez had driven in 3 runs, had a couple of hits, and I guess he just figured, you know, I'm done. I'm out of here.
Yep. Hey, fans, for just $36, get 1 Lowe's infield ticket to one of 8 select Brewers games and a $25 Potawatomi Bingo Casino Restaurant gift card. You have to be 21 or older to dine in the restaurants. For details, call 414-902-4000 or visit brewers.com/Potawatomi.
This big crowd anxious to cheer about something. Cardinals have come in here and executed very well, and it started with a bang tonight. Ryan Ludwig with a 3-run home run in the first inning with 1 out. Cardinals got a homer from Rasmus in the 5th to make it 4-0.
It's big out here. And the Brewers hope to get back in this ball game. They got to get this guy out right now. You got Pujols on deck.
Runner in scoring position. Rasmus with 2 hits, including his 11th home run last inning of the 5th. Seth McClung getting loose. McClung was in line to start Thursday.
Well, he looks like he's getting ready for Albert, doesn't he? I mean, he's getting ready in a hurry. And one pitch out of the strike zone away from walking Rasmus to get to Albert Pujols.
Three balls and a strike on Rasmus. The dangerous Pujols waiting. And that one is in there. 3-2 the count. Talented rookie Colby Rasmus. In his first season in the big leagues, just 22 years of age. $11 home runs, leads all rookies. McGee's in there with 6. He's been on somewhat of a home run binge here lately. Won a game last week. Matter of fact, Wainwright's last start against the Giants, Wainwright got a no decision, but Rasmus is the guy who hit the home run to beat the Giants.
Yeah, extra innings.
Full count, 2 outs. A liner to left, a base hit, and this will score another run. Braun able to cut it off. Ryan scores. Rasmus into second with an RBI double, and it's 5-0 St. Louis.
Well, now at least you don't have to face Albert Pujols. I mean, how about that kid? Rasmus, we mentioned in his first at bat, very good against lefties. He hung in there very well against Narveson, who gave him a fastball middle in, keeping his hands in, not trying to pull it, and rips it down the line and left to drive in a run. So you walk Albert, and not sure if you're going to bring McClung in this situation.
Three hits for Rasmus, 2 RBIs, and is now a triple away from the cycle. Firestone leaderboard up above. Pujols with 82 runs batted in, leads all major leaguers. Fielder is second. Jason Bay having another great season in Boston. Got to tip your hat to Jason Bay. Traded from the Pirates to the Red Sox last year. That is not an easy situation to step into, and he delivered big time last year.
Talk about pressure, huh? Jason Bay's handled it pretty well.
So here comes the move. Maka will take the ball from Narveson and will call on McClung with Ludwig coming up. Take a timeout. Stay with us. Our Ho-Chunk Gaming Wisconsin text the broadcast booth tonight. What does a player or coach do in the clubhouse when they get ejected? Ryan wants to know from Michigan. We have 2 coaches ejected tonight, Dale Swaim and Willie Randolph, and I would imagine
watching the game.
They're checking us out.
Watching the game, I would imagine, and maybe going over through some scouting reports. Maybe for Dale Swaim, you're in that clubhouse, maybe sending messages in perhaps for guys about Wainwright. Who knows?
Always work to be done.
Well, Seth McClung, I think back where he is most valuable to the Brewers, back in that bullpen. I mean, he was so good out of the bullpen. He can give you an out. He can give you 3 innings.
Pitch gets away. Kendall can't find it. And Rasmus will stop around third. A wild pitch. And the runners advance. This has not been a pretty baseball game.
No, it hadn't.
From the Brewers' perspective. Still time to turn it around, but
yeah, and not a lot has gone right so far.
Maka wondering what he has to do here.
Well, not much he can do.
Tough.
Not up to him once he fills out that lineup card.
Tough on the manager. Maka talks a lot about the quality of the game. You know, you talk to him after a game, post-game press conference, or in his office. You know, he wants to see good baseball. And there have been times when the Brewers have lost a game, but it's been a good baseball game, and you know he feels better about games like that. You know, wins and losses come and go, but you want to see your club playing well. You want to see them execute it.
But you don't mind winning ugly.
Winning ugly is never bad.
I'll never complain about that.
Now McClung walks Ludwig.
No, bottom line is you're not going to win many baseball games when you're walking batters. What's that, 6 walks now?
Well, Gallardo walked 5. Narveson
7.
The intentional walk to Pujols, and now McClung.
I forgot about the intentional walk, but you're not going to win many baseball games at the major league level when you don't play well, when you don't pitch well, when you don't field well, when you don't get timely hitting, hit the baseball well. You can win some games when you do 2 out of those 3 things well.
Bases loaded, 2 outs for Ankiel, who has struck out all 3 times at the plate. He's been scuffling ever since that injury when he crashed into the center field wall at Busch Stadium. He's not been able to find his stroke since returning from the disabled list. A run is in for the Cardinals. They lead 5-0. 1-2. Ankiel helping him out.
Hey, get ahead of Ankiel. You can get him out all day long up there, particularly if you have a fastball that, you know, like McClung has in those mid-90s.
Didn't chase. 2-2. Ankiel went on the disabled list at the end of April and came back at the end of May. Missed a month. This is his 31st start since returning. And when he came back, Rock, La Russa moved him out of center field. Rasmus had kind of established himself at that point. Put him in a corner outfield position. Two balls, 2 strikes with the bases loaded, and Ankiel pops it up shallow right. Corey Hart makes a call, and the side retired. The Cardinals lead 5-0. Could be a whole lot worse. See if the Brewers can take advantage and make a comeback tonight. Head to the bottom of the 6th. Time now for the Toyota game summary. It's been all Cardinals thus far. They lead 5-0 through 5.5. Ryan Ludwig with 1 swing of the bat in the first inning made it 3-0. Adam Wainwright has been tough. 5 strikeouts thus far for Wainwright, 5 shutout innings. The Brewers had a golden opportunity in the second to score, but stranded the bases loaded. But still time here. The Brewers trying to flip the switch as we head to the bottom of the 6th. Fielder leads off. A lot of Brewers have been aggressive early in the count against Wainwright. Wainwright has given up 5 hits to the Crew. Corey Hart has a pair of hits. Counsell with a hit. Cameron and Jason Kendall, but all of the hits have been singles. Wainwright surrendered 1 walk, and the Brewers have had a base runner with an error.
And not too many of the base hits have come on a fastball. A couple of sliders. And none of the hits on a curveball, that's for sure.
Well, that one rolls fair, and Wainwright is going to get an out. That had so much spin on it that it ends up in fair territory. Indicative of the night that is before us tonight. Fielder watching that one roll, just assuming that's going to go foul. It had an opposite spin on it.
You see the look on Prince's face. He realizes it a little bit too late. Really didn't give up on it completely, but wasn't sure it was going to go fair, but still got down there and ran the base. I mean, a lot of guys just stand there and take his medicine, but Prince getting down the line. Another good curveball by Adam Wainwright.
McGee off the end of the bat. Little dribbler coming over as Thurston makes a play for out number 2. Rock, I see where Ian Kinsler and Pablo Sandoval are leading in the final vote categories. I'd like to see Sandoval end up there. He's an exciting young player.
Yeah.
Mark Reynolds, though, is having a great year in Arizona.
Well, you take away the strikeouts for Reynolds, and he's having a big year with the home runs and the RBIs. Always have an affinity for a guy that strikes out a lot, can hit some homers. Me and a lot of my friends.
I think you put Sandoval in an all-star setting, though. I mean, that's a match made in heaven with his personality. Not to mention the numbers he's put up.
Yeah.
Sandoval's got a chance to win a batting title. You know, they told us in spring training. I remember Mike Krukow saying, this guy's got a chance to win a batting title. He's 22. Just a brief time in the big leagues last year. You're kind of thinking, maybe they're drinking the Kool-Aid a little bit, their own guy. Sure enough.
Yeah.
He's right up there.
Yeah, switch hitter.
Sandoval is currently 4th in the league in batting. 322. Having never seen many of the pitchers he's facing this year.
Well, it doesn't matter with him, though. I mean, he's not looking for anything in particular.
Wainwright strikes out Cameron, and a 3-up, 3-down inning. To the 7th we go. It's all Cardinals so far tonight. 5-0 Redbirds. Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is presented by Triple Hop Brewed Miller Lite. Great taste, less filling. And by Toyota, proud sponsor of the Milwaukee Brewers and the Tundra Territory at Miller Park. Under the lights at Miller Park, the roof is open tonight. Beautiful summer night here in Milwaukee. Cardinals, however, spoil the fun up to now. 5-0 St. Louis, 7th inning. McClung back in there and facing an all-star Yadier Molina to start it off. Saw where the Chicago Cubs, Rock, are going to place Ryan Dempster on the disabled list. He fractured his toe. Most likely out for a month, they say.
That's a good pitching staff, particularly starting rotation over there in Chicago. And the Brewers saw all 4 of their best.
Dempster fractured his toe climbing over the fence of the dugout at Wrigley Field. I'm not sure how. Maybe after a win, he was climbing over the fence. He broke his toe. Kevin Hart's going to replace him in the rotation.
That was yesterday?
Yesterday.
They played the Braves, right?
Mm-hmm. McClung walking Molina. Yadier Molina has walked 3 times in this game. Doesn't happen very often.
8 walks issued by Brewer pitching.
Molina normally a free swinger. Not quite at the level of his brother Benji, but he likes to get up there and hack.
Eight walks, but only 1 of them have come around to score. That was a Pujols walk in first.
Joe Thurston reached on an infield hit in the first inning. Braves are on top of the Cubs tonight, by the way, 2-1. Cubs won last night. Cubs and the Cardinals will match up next at Wrigley Field. That includes a day-night doubleheader on Sunday.
How about that? That's a good way to end the first half.
Wonder if there'll be any Ernie Banks references on Sunday.
Ernie Banks would have said, let's play two, but let's play two back to back. I don't think even Ernie would like those split double headers. Well, they hit the road this season with the Brewers as they travel to Phoenix. The Brew Crew battles the Diamondbacks, and you could be there to watch. Enter at your local Piggly Wiggly by July 31st. Piggly Wiggly, shop the pig and save.
Here's Adam Wainwright batting for the 4th time tonight. 0 for 3. A couple of strikeouts on his line. He's up there to bunt, perhaps. The signature Tony La Russa lineup with the pitcher batting 8th.
Yep, an attempt to have more men on in front of Albert Pujols, thinking that they get the pitcher out of the way. Then you have essentially 2 leadoff hitters. The number 9 guy and then the leadoff hitter. And remember, the Brewers tried that for a while last year. It didn't work out.
Oh, 2 to Wainwright. McClung looking for the ground ball here. Wainwright bunting with 2 strikes, and he's down on a strikeout. The first for McClung, the second out of the inning.
It's never good when the opposing pitcher has 4 at-bats in the 7th inning.
That's right.
Even if he is batting 8th.
Wainwright's first at-bat was in the first inning, part of a 3-run St. Louis first. Gallardo throwing over 30 pitches in the first inning, faced 8 hitters. Cardinals have scored 5 runs on 8 hits, but they have stranded 9 base runners already. So while they have a comfortable lead at this point, they have not yet blown it open, and they've had some opportunities to.
They only 3 for 10 with runners in scoring position. They have 8 walks, but they've struck out 9 times. The strikeouts are rally killers.
Gallardo had 6 strikeouts in his 5 innings of work. Two balls and a strike on Brendan Ryan. Singled, stole a base, scored a run his last time up. Scored the 5th Cardinal run. The Brewers will have the bottom of the order due up in the 7th. So if you're thinking about a rally, that's how you get one started. The bottom of the order to get some men on base, turn it over to the top, get Braun and Fielder up there with a chance to belt one and bring you back into it. Two balls, 2 strikes. A bouncer. McClung knocks it down. And a little shovel pass to Prince. Good play. The inning is over. The Cardinals fail to score. And we head to the bottom of the 7th. Stretch time at Miller Park.
Damian Craig back with you at Miller Park. Need to pump some life into the Brewers. Very bizarre game. A couple of coaches get ejected early. And then the second inning, really the only chance, David, the Brewers have had to score, in a base running blunder by Mike Cameron kind of took the momentum away.
Well, it certainly did, and that was the inning that maybe could have pumped some life into the ball club right there. But as you see, Mike Cameron doesn't even see the ball until it's too late and he gets hit. And so that's what bases loaded. Runners have to go back. Mike Cameron's out. No run scored.
Well, we're going to talk about base running a little bit on the rundown between third and home. We're going to recruit a couple of 10-year-olds and their fresh legs to get out there and run the bases for you and Bill. So I know you guys are looking forward to that.
Looking forward to it. It'll be fun.
All right, full post-game coverage coming up on Brewers Live after the ball game, Brian.
Okay, Craig, Davey, thanks a lot. Corey Hart leads off for the Brewers. And a pop-up. And Ryan has it for out number 1. By the way, Rock, the broken toe for Ryan Dempster, that happened against the Brewers. Coming over the fence on Sunday. So, didn't happen yesterday.
Just wanted to take some time to make sure that it was going to be DL necessary.
Right. Don't want to clear that up.
Yeah. Okay.
I know you were wondering.
I knew it had to be either Sunday or yesterday.
I didn't, you know, if you were on the banquet circuit, I didn't want you spreading false rumors about when it happened. Question comes up a lot.
Yeah.
Chris Smith getting loose.
It's amazing how many Ryan Dempster questions I get all winter long.
Even in the summer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kendall has a hit tonight. The ball that hit Mike Cameron that Davey and Craig were just talking about in the second inning was off the bat of Jason Kendall. If Cameron's able to avoid that ground ball, it's probably going to be an out somewhere. At least at third base.
Might have been a tough catch. Might have been a tough play. You never know. You never know how many runs that may have led to.
Kendall over to Pujols. And the Gold Glover makes a play for out number 2.
You know what today is? Corey Provis' birthday.
Is that right? 31 today.
Speaking of the banquet circuit in Chicago, I got a lot of questions about Corey Provis this winter.
Yeah.
Good guy, good broadcaster. Happy birthday, Corey. I have no idea how old he is.
You're not normally the birthday guy. He's 31, by the way. You know, Willie Randolph had a birthday yesterday.
Right.
The double nickel. Willie was ejected earlier tonight. So at least he wasn't ejected on his birthday. Said he had a great day with his family, though. Best kind of birthday, with your family.
Did you say happy birthday to Corey Provis?
Nope. Not yet. I was waiting until we hit the air.
Now, I know you don't send a card to your dad on his birthday, but maybe a card to Corey?
Maybe make him some cookies or something.
Why not?
Candlesticks are nice to
Good
make a nice
guy.
gift.
Young. Welcome him to Milwaukee. His first birthday as a Brewer.
It's a little surprising you're into the birthday spirit so much tonight. It's not normally where you'd be going with.
A little bit of time. It's kind of one of those days.
Matt Gamble pinch hitting. Wainwright has retired 6 in a row. And outside that error in the 5th inning, hasn't had a base runner via hit since the 4th when Corey Hart singled with 2 outs. Gamble draws the walk. The Brewers have a base runner here in the 7th. What do you got, Rock?
On Saturday, this coming Saturday, the Brewers take to the field against the Dodgers at 6:05 p.m. The first 15,000 fans, 21 and older, will get a Milwaukee Brewers and Miller Lite Taste Protector baseball cap. Compliments of triple hops brewed Miller Lite. Great taste, less filling.
Two outs for Counsell. Craig Counsell at the plate, presented by Wendy's. Singled and stole a base in the third inning, his 100th career steal. There's a drive and a right. Back is Ludwig. He's got it. And the inning is over. Brewers strand a base runner. And we are headed to the 8th at Miller Park. 5-0 St. Louis. Well, Saturday afternoons were made for baseball. And this week Fox brings you the national game of the week. The Cardinals head to Chicago to take on the Cubs in a showdown between rivals. Fox Saturday Baseball this week at 3 p.m. Central on Fox. While the Brewers are matching up with the Dodgers. The other two in the division going at it. Cubs and the Cardinals. Chris Smith is on to pitch.
Yeah, the closer down in AAA has done a nice job as a Brewer. His 12th game, a .237 earned run average. Holding opponent batters to a .176 batting average. Last pitched on Sunday against the Cubs.
Gallardo starts, goes 5 innings tonight, gives up 4 runs. Narveson 2/3 of an inning with 1 run allowed. And McClung an inning and a third. Smith facing the top of the order. Pujols will hit third. Little bouncer out to Hardy. Nice easy hop. And 1 away. One thing you like about Chris Smith, he's a strike thrower. Has a very good changeup and is not afraid to use his changeup in any count.
Yep, curveball changeup, and his changeup is his best pitch. Able to locate his fastball pretty well and then throw that changeup, particularly against lefties. Very, very effective, and he's been very good so far with the Brewers. Really has.
Colby Rasmus has had a big night tonight. He is a triple away from the cycle. Singled and scored in the first inning. Hit a home run in the 5th inning to lead off, and then he doubled in a run with 2 outs in the 6th. Now with 11 home runs for the season, he's driven in 34. And he shows a nice, easy, powerful swing.
Yes, he does, and very effective on pitches down in the strike zone, whether they're in or down the middle. That one down the middle, and Rasmus able to get good extension on it.
Mark Grudzielanek, the last cycle for the Cardinals, and it came against the Brewers, believe it or not, back in '05. I never think about Mark Grudzielanek without thinking about Harry Carey pronouncing or trying to pronounce Mark Grudzielanek.
Right.
I think he finally settled on Mark G.
That's what I would have done.
Oak Creek native.
Or just Mark.
Full count, 1 out. Pujols would be next. Off the end of the bat, and Braun's got it for out number 2. Now we'll see how Smith handles Albert Pujols. Pujols tonight has 1 hit. He's been on 3 times. His on base percentage this year, .464. Breaking ball from Smith. These are the kinds of spots Albert is looking to hit one into Lake Michigan.
And very rarely gives up in that bat, but early in the count, you're right. He'll wind up a little bit, try and hit a homer. 2 outs, nobody on. Why not?
Pujols only the second player in the last 45 years to lead Major League Baseball in home runs, RBIs, and runs by the All-Star break. And if he can continue this pace, he would join Alex Rodriguez as the last two to do it in 5 decades. A-Rod did it in 07. 31 home runs, 82 RBIs. Line shot, foul. Out in front of it, 2-2 the count. Well, among major leaguers at the break, still have 6 games to play, but that is some impressive company right there. Mickey did it in 56, Hank Aaron in 63, and A-Rod in 07. Home runs, RBIs, and runs scored. Pujols pops it up. So Chris Smith goes right after him, and Pujols is retired in a 1-2-3 inning. A moral victory for Smith. The Brewers run it out of outs. They trail 5-0. Well, our Miller Lite What's on Tap, the Brewers and the Cardinals, back on Fox Sports Wisconsin tomorrow. Game 2 of the series. We're on the air at 6:30 for Brewers Live, and it'll be Todd Wellemeyer for the Cardinals against Jeff Suppan for the Brewers. Suppan coming off of one of his best games of the year in Chicago. Took a no decision in that game. Another one of his better games of the season occurred against the Cardinals and against Adam Wainwright when Suppan combined for a 1-0 Brewer win against St. Louis. Suppan went 7 shutout against the Cardinals and had a complete game against St. Louis last year. So the former Cardinal hoping to strike against his old club tomorrow.
Yeah, Suppan's 7-3 career against the Cardinals. That's pretty good, including a 1-1 record this year.
Wainwright has pitched a gem tonight. He has really hamstrung the Brewers all season, really. Had 2 starts against Milwaukee prior to tonight. Wainwright working on a 5-hit shutout. He's only given up 2 earned runs all year against the Brewers in 3 starts.
I'm somewhat surprised that he's coming out for this 8th inning. That high pitch count his last time out. He's over 100 now.
Dave Duncan, the pitching coach, keeping a close eye on Wainwright. Pitch count right now in good shape, especially with as many strikes as he's thrown. And Hardy takes a called strike 3. So Wainwright with 7 strikeouts now.
Right at the bottom of the strike zone, apparently, for Bill Hahn. He's got a little Tim McClellan in him with his strike call, doesn't he? Looked low, really did. Took him a long time to ring him up. That ball's down. That side angle, though, showed it's right at the knees.
Braun, a bouncer. Schumacher for out number 2, and Braun's 12-game hitting streak in jeopardy. Well, we've got our U.S. Cellular text question going all week. We started it tonight. So far, the early returns. Should the All-Star game determine home field advantage? 65% say no.
I thought it'd be closer than that.
What do you think, Rock? Are you a yes man or a no man on that issue?
Man, that's a lot to lay on an exhibition game. I mean, that really can determine who's going to win the World Series. And particularly from a National League standpoint, it's been very bad since 1996. Of course, it's only been implemented, what, last 3 years? Right. Last 4 years?
Yep. All predicated by the tie here at Miller Park. The All-Star game, 2002.
That's 6 years. A little off.
0-2 to Prince. And he goes And the inning is over, and Wainwright, one of his better innings. He has 8 strikeouts now, 8 shutout innings. Nothing to howl about tonight for sure so far. Still an inning to play. We head to the 9th. The Cardinals lead 5-0. First of a 6-game homestand for the Brewers. The Dodgers are in here next, beginning Friday. Don't forget Thursday is an afternoon game here against the Cardinals. As we see Carlos Villanueva ready to work the 9th. Ryan Ludwig, Rick Keel, and Yadier Molina, the first 3 up. Cardinals got 3 in the first. Added 1 in the 5th and 1 more in the 6th. But the story tonight, aside from the long ball by the Cardinal bats, has been Adam Wainwright. 8 shutout innings with 8 strikeouts.
Well, the Brewers in his career have not been able to do much against Wainwright, even when he was out of the bullpen.
Base hit by Ludwig. He's starting to heat up at the plate, and that could spell some trouble. It was his 3-run home run in the first inning that got this Cardinals offense going in a hurry tonight.
And really hadn't been swinging the bat with much authority. Even when he was getting his hits, he wasn't really driving the baseball that much. And sometimes when you've been on the disabled list, you come back maybe too soon. He talked about the fact that he didn't go down to rehab. He didn't want to go do that. Cardinals wanted him to do it, but apparently was able to talk him out of it. This hasn't been very productive, but that's starting to come to an end.
Wainwright looks like he's going to try to finish this game with the towel wrapped around the arm. No action in the Cardinal bullpen. Coming off a 122 pitch game in his last start against the Giants.
It would be Wainwright's first complete game of the year.
Now Ed Keel has struck out for the 4th time in this game.
Now Villanueva, when he's able to keep that breaking ball down in the zone, he is deadly, even against left-handed batters.
Oh, that's nice of you. We're not going to St. Louis, are we?
No, I don't think so. I wonder who's going to throw to Prince in the home run hitting contest.
I was kind of thinking you might get an invite.
Now, that wouldn't be me.
You throw a nice ball.
I haven't thrown much to Prince, though.
But you haven't hit him.
No, I haven't hit him. If I threw the home run hitting contest, I might hit him a few times. That'd be a little nerve-wracking, actually.
I remember last year Ryan Braun was in the home run derby, and Nez Bolello, his agent.
Yeah, did a nice job for him.
Yeah.
It's one thing to, throw batting practice, nobody in the stands, you got the batting cage, guys having a good time. But that home run hitting contest, a much different situation. He's firing balls off the backstop.
I think you'd be great at it. Because, you're down there for the instructionals for Brewers Live. You're standing in the middle of the stadium. A lot of fans.
All the bright lights.
Screaming at you. I think you're ready. I'm going to mention that to Prince.
I'd prefer you didn't, actually.
I'd like to know who he's going to select. Brewers Live coming your way after this one tonight. Instructional on rundowns. Craig and Davey, Telly Hughes with interviews. Get you post-game sound from the clubhouse. Interested to hear Ken Macha's comments tonight. It has been a newsworthy day here for the Brewers. The kind of news they're not real interested in. Off-field discussions. And good to hear Ryan Braun and Doug Melvin getting together today, clearing the air. Braun spoke to the media before. He didn't take questions, but issued a statement. Everybody's on the same page.
I don't think you can get too many more sound bites regarding that situation. I think that that is over and done with, at least for the player's perspective.
Braun saying he was a little surprised and felt like it was blown out of proportion a little bit. He wasn't being critical of anyone in particular, just a general statement. But Doug Melvin coming back in the press as well, renouncing those statements. There's a little flare that's going to fall. Now that is an excuse me hit. But Molina on base for the 5th time in this game. 2 hits and 3 walks.
Well, he'll take it. I mean, a little jam shot, being away with it, does a nice job getting in on his fists. Talked about how good Molina is with pitches out away from him. They tried to jam him, did a good job of it, but he fought it off.
And a bouncer. Fielder's got it. Good play. 2nd out. Two outs for Adam Wainwright, who apparently is headed back to the mound to try to finish this one off. Looking for his first complete game of the year. Wainwright last had a complete game in the major leagues April of last year against the Astros.
Well, it's been a long time since a pitcher has had 5 at-bats in a game. I can't remember one this year.
Wainwright is 0 for 4. He's got a chance to drive in a couple of runs here. Wainwright kind of made a name for himself coming out of the bullpen. 2006 Cardinals World Series year, their World Series championship year. He was their closer and tied a rookie record for saves. 4 postseason saves for Wainwright. Through 3 levels of the playoffs, Wainwright went 9 games, 9 2/3 innings of scoreless baseball.
And for his effort, he became a starting pitcher
the very next year. That one's hit well to left. Braun is back with room, and he's got it for the out. To the bottom of the 9th, last call. Wainwright going after the shutout. The Brewers trying to mount a comeback. Time now for the Menards game reset. The Brewers and the Cardinals. And a shaky start tonight by Giovanni Gallardo. He gives up 4 runs in 5 innings. Ryan Ludwig with a 3-run homer in the 1st inning. But the story has been Adam Wainwright. He has kept the Brewers offense down. 8 shutout tonight. 5 hits. Rasmus belted his 11th homer of the year, has 3 hits in this game and 2 RBIs. Talented young rookie continuing to do damage. And Wainwright back on the mound, making a bid at his first complete game of the season. The Brewers trying to avoid their 3rd shutout loss in the last 9 games. 8 strikeouts for Wainwright, 2 walks. Casey McGee leads off. Will be followed by Cameron and then Corey Hart.
Brewers just have not been able to get much going except for that 2nd inning against Wainwright, and pretty much shot themselves in the foot in that inning. Only 1 base hit. I should say no base hit since the 4th inning.
Casey McGee. I wonder if Molina and Bill Hahn are into something there.
What could it be?
I have no idea. Kind of interesting between the catcher and the umpire. That one's a strike. Adam Wainwright is making a bid at his first career complete game shutout. Wainwright has 2 career complete games. He's only been a starter since the 07 season. We're talking about that year he came out of the bullpen, ended up closing games down the stretch in 06. He was on the mound for the final out of the World Series in 06. Turned him into a starter the next year, and he was 14-12. Had some injury issues last year. A finger injury had him on the shelf for about a third of the season. The Brewers have had just 1 base runner since the 5th inning. Little roller along third. Barehanded by Thurston. He can't make it. Casey McGee is aboard.
There's your base hit. What a long stretch of innings without a base hit comes to an end. A 3-2 fastball. Casey out in front of it.
Our Home Depot doing more on defense. We take you back to Brendan Ryan's play in the 4th inning. Outstanding arm by the Cardinals shortstop. Home Depot doing more on defense. Here's Mike Cameron now. And here comes Dave Duncan.
I think one of the reasons why they're giving him an opportunity to finish this ball game is because of that complete game shutout situation. Had the Brewers been able to put a run on the board, you might see some activity in that bullpen. You might have actually seen a guy in there already. A do or die play for Thurston, not able to come up with a bare hand play.
Well, look how efficient he has been. That 2nd inning, the Brewers had the bases loaded. That was the inning they had 3 hits and a walk and could not score. All-star closer Ryan Franklin getting loose. 5-0 Cardinals. And Cameron takes a ball. This crowd's been ready to cheer for something all night. Corey Hart would be next. He has 2 hits against Wainwright tonight.
Well, Cam swinging through a fastball right down the middle of the plate. I'd like to have that one back. 84 miles an hour, maybe a changeup.
Dennis Reyes, the lefty, begins to get loose. The 1-2. Cameron stays alive. Wainwright went 7 innings, gave up 1 run on the 26th of May here at Miller Park. Hit a home run that game. 8 innings in just 1 run and 2 hits in St. Louis on the 16th of May. He has had the Brewers number this year. Breaking ball strike. Cameron is gone. And it's out number 1.
Yeah, that's been the bread and butter of Wainwright all night. That curveball, that yellow hammer, it's a good one. He still has a good one in the 9th inning. 118 pitches and still able to snap them off for strikes.
We talk about how well Wainwright has pitched against the Brewers. However, he lost a game to the Brew Crew on May 16th, despite giving up just 2 hits. It was Corey Hart who had the decisive blow back then. A home run to right center. That was in the second inning.
Who would have thought?
The only home run the Brewers have hit against Wainwright. Hart bounces one off his foot.
That was back in the days where Corey Hart had the dyed black hair.
The goth look.
And the beard.
When he really did look like Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah, it looks much different now, doesn't he?
Off the end of the bat and a base hit. Hart with 3 hits. 3 for 4 at the plate, and the Brewers stay alive here in the 9th.
Well, you like the way he's done it, too. Hit the left, hit the center, now hit the right, using the whole field. Right off the end of the bat, but because Schumacher is playing in double play position, not able to get there, and into right field for a base hit.
This is a spot for an offense when you're down 5-0. You're just looking for small goals. You know, get on base, get to the closer.
Let's get a run on the board.
Try to put the Cardinals in a position they don't want to be in. They certainly would rather not use their closer tonight. But here comes Tony La Russa, and that's going to do it for Wainwright. La Russa doesn't want the ball to get rolling for the Brewers. He's seen this offense explode in the past.
No, it's not like the Brewers are not going to cover up the baseball this inning. An infield hit and one off the end of the bat, and that chases Wainwright.
8 1/3 for Wainwright, and La Russa making a call to the bullpen. We'll take a timeout. Stay with us. Now Adam Wainwright wanted the finisher, manages just 1 out in the 9th inning, and I'm sure La Russa concerned about the pitch count. A lot of strikeouts tonight for Wainwright. He had 9 of them, as again he pitches deep into the 9th inning for the 2nd time this year.
Well, that, and I think Tony La Russa very well aware of how explosive this Brewer offense can be. So if he's trying not to get back to the top of the order. One more base runner, and the Brewers have the tying run on deck. And Tony La Russa not taking any chances, bringing his closer in, and a good one at that.
Ryan Franklin on for the 32nd time. He's only blown 1 save all year.
Look at the ERA.
That blown save was early in the season. And an all-star for the first time at 36 years of age. It was Charlie Manuel who turned Ryan Franklin from a starter to a reliever. And it was Manuel who put him on his all-star team.
And then basically fastball slider for Ryan Franklin. Throws a lot of strikes, doesn't beat himself with walks.
Jason Kendall at the plate with 2 on. To short. Ryan flips to second for 1. And a double play that ends the game. Ryan Franklin throws 2 pitches and finishes it off here tonight. The Cardinals win the opener. Adam Wainwright picks up his 9th win of the year. 8 1/3 of shutout baseball. Wainwright beats Gallardo 5-0. The Cardinals beat the Brewers in game 1. We'll take a timeout. Be back for Brewers Live, sponsored by Lincoln Mercury. Stay right there.